It makes me think of a quote by Nipsey Hussle. I don't know if you're familiar who Nipsey Hussle is, but he's a rapper. But he was a rapper from Los Angeles, California. And the quote is, long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but set every goal high. 1,000 burpees to the path to my own destruction or success. But what is a mistake without the lesson? You see, the best teacher in life is your own experience. And none of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you choose to do, homie, give your heart to it and stay strong.
Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that have shaped their lives, inviting us all to reflect and grow together. Today we're joined by Chancellor Jackson, a passionate author, coach, and entrepreneur from Georgia. With a remarkable journey that includes living abroad and overcoming adversity, Chancellor is dedicated to helping aspiring authors find their voice. His warmth and insights promise to inspire us as we explore the wisdom that has guided him. Let's dive into Chancellor's story and discover the quote that holds a special place in his heart. Tell me your name and your favorite quote.
Chancellor Jackson is the name. And favorite quote is, adversity introduces a man to himself.
Adversity introduces a man to himself. How long have you known this quote?
Since 2012, 2011, around that time.
2012, that's a long time. Adversity introduces a man to himself. Why do you think this quote resonates deeply with you?
I got the quote from a former football player himself. His name is Marcus Lattimore. He was a Division I football player. He played for the University of South Carolina. Big time running back. You know what I'm saying? When he was in his prime, but he ended up breaking his leg or tearing his ACL, one of the two. Came back his senior year and then broke his leg again. So it's like, hey, you're saying you broke your leg your junior year, but you bounced back, came back your senior year to prevail, you break your leg again. And it's like, they was asking me in an interview because he was still trying to enter the NFL draft because he really haven't played in the past 2 years. So it's like, I mean, you can still make it to a team, but it's like the odds are going to be against you just because of, you know what I'm saying, the injuries you suffered. And they asked me, like, what, you know what I'm saying, keeps you going? Like, what helps you? What's your, you know what I'm saying, what motivates you? He recited the quote, said, adversity introduces a man to himself. And I was like, man. From that moment on, it's like, that is so true. Because it's like we all face that. And it can go either way. Adversity introduces a woman to herself as well. You know what I'm saying? Both ways. It's like, the best teacher life is your own experience.
Would you be kind enough to share some of your personal stories where, adversity introduced you to yourself?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It all started with my first love, first passion, football, American football. From high school, I played all throughout high school, but it was a grind just to do that because I started playing football late. So I started playing football until I was 13 years old. Here in America, especially where I'm from, most boys start playing football around 4 or 5 years old. So I was very, very late to the game. It took me a minute to the speed, especially the physical aspects of the sport, and then of course the mental, just knowing the knowledge of the game. Took me a minute to catch up, but I caught up, and it was just trying to work my way up to varsity. You know what I'm saying? In high school, that was a process. I wasn't able to do that until my senior year for the most part. And then trying to figure out where I'm going to play football at in college. That was a process within itself because I wasn't the most recruited or highly looked at player where I was from. So I pretty much had to take it upon myself to find a place to go. But I made it happen. And then, of course, after that, trying to figure out what's going to be next now that football's over with. What's my purpose now that, you know what I'm saying, the original passion is gone? Okay, what are we going to do next? Just that whole journey was a process, but it took me to China, lived in China for a little bit, got locked up in China. That's another bit of adversity I faced. Did 14 days in a Beijing penitentiary, got released, came back to America. From that point on, continued to work in education, started coaching football, started writing books, and here we are a few years later with multiple books published and bestsellers, and you know what I'm saying, we thriving.
What you did give to me is an overview, of how, you started as outside football and now you're writing books. Could you do one thing for me? Could you zoom in on a very exact moment where it felt like everything was about crashing in on you, and at that point in time, in the midst of the chaos, you just saw clarity?
It had to be when I got locked up in China. for sure.
I love to know about that.
Yeah, when I got locked. So yeah, I got locked up in China in 2019, and I was pretty much locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 minutes in one cell, wooden beds, 3 soups a day, and all I had was a plastic bowl and a plastic spoon. Now, how I ended up in there is one story within itself, but pretty much I got caught with some cannabis, and everything went left after that. The walls crashing down. I'm in a foreign country. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is getting real. Um, but I was still level headed at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Just in the moment. Not fearful, just very curious, without a doubt. But was still positive through and through. The experiences. But yeah, I eventually ended up getting out and ended up writing a book about it.
Okay. You mentioned you wrote a book about it. What's the name of the book?
14 days in
14 Days
Beijing.
in Beijing. It's okay, okay, okay. 14 Days in Beijing. Wow. Was it that intense that you had so much material to write a book on it?
I mean, I just can't know. I mean, I knew that story was going to be marketable just because the fact, okay, people go to jail all the time, but it's like it's not often people go to jail in different countries. Yet alone China. One, most people don't even get a chance to go to China. So that alone, I was like, I knew it was going to be a story to tell. I just didn't know how I was going to tell it originally. But once I got the idea to write a book about it, and it was
So
history from
how
that
did you
point on.
figure out how to tell the story? Because you mentioned earlier that you knew it was going to be a good story, but you just didn't know how to tell it.
One of my good friends I grew up with, named DeMarco Reddins, he was a traditionally published author before we graduated high school back in 2014. So he was the one that put the book in my ear, like, hey, can you think about writing a book about the experience? I was like, well, that's a good idea. I don't even know where to start, but that's a great idea. And I was like, for sure, I'm down. He took my phone, went to my note section, left me a little outline, and I started filling in the outline. By me doing that, I called a feel for how I wanted to write the story. So moved it to a Google Doc to type it up. Took about 4 months to write the story, and spent the next 6 months just getting ready for publishing. I got locked up in China on April 4th, 2019. On April 4th, 2020, I released the very first version of 14 Days of Beijing, and I was #1 new bestseller in multiple 3 different genres upon debut.
Oh, oh, in 1 year, you. The thing for me is the fact that that adversity itself revealed you like I don't know, maybe you would have ended up writing a story or something else, but no, it took that encounter to say, oh yeah, I could write a book.
Yeah, once I got because I'm just telling a true story. It ain't like I'm creating all this, and you know what I'm saying. It's all fictional. Now that's a little bit more challenging. At least for people that are able to do that, you be like, okay, I applaud the way that your mind works because that is very creative. No, I'm just telling a true story of what happened verbatim. So it's easy. That's like me sitting here telling y'all the story right now, but I just put it on paper.
But a lot of persons will argue what you just said that writing is not exactly so easy for them.
Well, what I do now. So it's like I started my publishing company in 2021. I've written multiple books, or 3 more books after 14 Days of Beijing. But with that success, I've coached people through the writing and publishing process. And I just created a course, a 14-day course or a 14-week course, 14 days to market. Or you want to do a lightning speed or you want to take your time with it. I created courses for um, anybody that's interested in writing and publishing a book, and I also coach people through writing the publishing process
Yeah.
as well.
Of course, is adversity reveals a man to himself. Adversity
Yes,
reveals a man to himself. Adversity reveals a man to himself. Yeah, it's sometimes when that's why they say comfort is the enemy of great. When you're hungry, sometimes the possibilities, the ideas, the things that you never thought you could do, you start doing them. But when you're comfortable, you have everything you need, and there's really no drive, nothing to say, oh yeah, you have this potential, you have this capacity. You just stay, and you never really find out what you're capable of.
facts, most definitely. It makes me think of a quote by Nipsey Hussle. I don't know if you're familiar who Nipsey Hussle is, but he's a rapper. But he was a rapper from Los Angeles, California. And the quote is, long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees to the path to my own destruction or success. But what is mistake without the lesson? You see, the best teacher in life is your own experience. And none of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you choose to do, homie, give your heart to it and stay strong.
Every man is defined by his own situation. Is that what you said?
Every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation.
It's defined by its reaction to it. Every any given situation. Who do you want to define you?
Someone else or yourself.
That's profound, man. That's deep.
Hey, shout out. Hey, RP Nipsey Hussle. The
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like that could be an anthem. You just play it to get your head in the game. Just remind you.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
For me, I just want to take it back to you a bit. Is I'm wondering, right? And we'll never will know, right? 14 days in Beijing is your first attempt at right, and it
Yes, sir.
took that encounter of being in prison for 14 days, right? To actually feel like, because the thing is, I know as much as you say, oh yeah, I felt like the story is marketable and all that. After that story, you went on to write other other books, or that's just the book you've written so far.
No, I wrote three more books after that. And I jumped into different genres with
You
the
see,
other books as
that's
well.
the thing I'm saying that.
But
So even though at the beginning you're telling me that, oh, I felt the story was marketable, that was like, it had to like push you that, oh, I had this I could write a book, I could write a story. And now after you wrote that, like, yeah, I did write a book. I could do this other thing, I could do this other thing. And most persons, they never really see or even think about these things, because some an encounter or nothing like that happened, that they would say, oh yeah, I could tell a story, I could be a writer, I could write something.
yeah, most definitely. But that's what it took all of that though. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, once football came to an end, I couldn't tell you who I was or what was going to be next for me. But it took that entire journey to be where we are
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I think it's a very tricky situation to be in a place where you are defined, like you've so much attached. You spent almost all your life doing one thing that you cannot imagine what your life would look like without that thing. And so
Right.
it's 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 kind of like, I don't know how long you've been keeping this hair. All of a sudden, I see you barb everything skin. That's out to the score. Done everything, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I look at you and I'm like, who's this stranger? I'm like, it's me, Chancellor.
Me.
You have to get out of here before I shoot.
Exactly. Great analogy. Great
Yeah,
analogy.
yeah,
That's
because in same thing. Some persons, like, since birth, they've never cut their hair, they've never shaved like their beard. So people, like, it's hard to really understand or comprehend without that thing. And sometimes it takes a very courageous heart to realize that you are more than the thing itself. You are who you are, with or without the thing.
most definitely. Most definitely. And I've always been like this since I was a kid. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Only 29. You know, Taylor Woods. This all happened when I was like 23, 22. So it was like, yeah, man, we still got a
yeah,
long way to go. A lot more.
yeah. A long way. Yeah. Uh, The thing is to figure out things we're capable of, and do them, such that when at the end of the day we're like, yeah, uh, I came, I saw, and I conquered. Yeah,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
We just don't want to see.
Oh,
Most of
man.
us, what we end up doing day to day is we just see. See. There's nothing we're doing, like, and it's not about impressing people. No, it's more like, how you sit down, and how do I explain that? Writing a book, right? In itself, inherently, right, is it's magical, because at the end of the day, when you finish writing the book and the book is ready, there's this feeling that you're like, I created something.
Most definitely. Yeah.
And if it's whether the book goes on to get published or sold, but you're just like, yeah, I wrote a book, I created something, and that feeling, it's something that there are many things that you cannot explain. They have to be experienced.
Yeah, but it's like it's peaceable though. Like it's not that esoteric or God like it's very like it's
Yeah,
achievable.
it is.
It's
It is.
very
It
achievable
is.
for
Adva-
sure. I
yeah.
got strategy. I got strategy. Achievable.
Yeah. Yeah, and another aspect I could look at the quote, adversity reveals a man to himself, is that sometimes when we're going through adversity, it shows us our shortcomings, our more like our what's the word, our imperfections, the things that the fears we have, the things we're afraid of, the things we're scared of. It's it's reflected, and we start seeing everything, and yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chancellor, for sharing your favorite quotes with me.
Hey man, I appreciate you for having me on your platform, family. Blessings and balance to you. Hey, big shout out to everyone that tuned in. Hey man, y'all the real MVPs, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you so
Love.
much. You even went on to share the song from the rapper, and that after this, I would probably go check out his song and you know actually spend some time to look at the lyrics and say, man, you dropped some facts here.
Yes, sir. Tap
Yeah.
in Nipsey
Tell us
Hussle.
a little bit about you and where people can learn more about you.
Oh yeah, so man, the best search engine, Google. Google K Jackson. Everything you need will pop up from social media accounts, my books, website, other podcast interviews I've done, the whole nine. The one stop shop. Just Google Chancellor K Jackson.
I'm confused right now. What's can you just say your name, just your name, say it out loud, like
Chancellor K
okay.
Jackson.
What's the K? The K is Kone.
Correlate.
Okay. Yeah, because when you said Google so fast that I was like, I hope your name is not Google Chancellor. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Chancellor. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks for listening to Relatable Wisdom. If you found something meaningful in this episode, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that by buying me a coffee. The link is in the show notes. Every little bit keeps the conversations going. I'm your host, Wisdom Conquer, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, staying curious, stay inspired, and keep growing.